So I'm going to start our discussion. We'll focus on two broad areas. One is the state of cybersecurity, and the second one is some of the possible solutions and the ways that we're addressing this currently. But I want to start with a question that a colleague of mine, Jay Lauf, asked at a dinner here 2 nights ago. And he said, his question was very simple. It was, is the magnitude of the cyber threats against the US so great that I should lay awake at night out of anxiety that something really, really bad is about to happen? So I want to start by putting that question to you. Vice Admiral, do you want to take that first?
Yes.
Okay. You should, I'll relay that to Jay.
Okay. This is a complex subject that can be very esoteric. And so let me do it at a summary level and just sort of make some bold assertions. And then maybe as we go through, I can defend those assertions, or they can be challenged or whatever. All right. At a strategic level, the United States is at strategic risk today. Strategic risk. Now, what do I mean by that? First of all, let me use the term cyber warfare. There are nation states building capability that could attack the critical infrastructures of the nation and destroy them. Now, what are those critical infrastructures? Banking, electric power, telecommunications, transportation. So at a level of warfare, there's strategic risk. Now, we deter them and they deter us. So at some level, it's a little bit like comparing nuclear weapons. Now, here's the issue and the problem, and there are 2 things I'm going to say. As these nation states build these very inexpensive tools, they build lots of them. So how long is it going to be before someone on the inside, either disgruntled or looking to make money, or it somehow inadvertently leaks some of these tools, and now they're in the hands of someone who would not be deterred? Can you imagine a terrorist group or an extremist group out there that wants to change the world order? And there are lots of examples. We can go to that later if you want. Now, the third level of threat, and this is what very, very few people think about. The United States and a few of our closest allies, we have a policy that we conduct intelligence operations against military capabilities, political intentions, things that we would look at threats to the United States that would be important for us to understand. As a policy, we do not do economic espionage. Most nations in the world are very actively engaged in economic espionage. So here's what's going on today. We can get into the details later. But there isn't a corporation or an institution in government, a private sector, a Congress, or anyone else that has not been penetrated by an adversary for which they have command and control privileges, which they're bleeding out information. So think in terms of intellectual property, source code, business plan, innovation, research and development. We are being bled of our intellectual capital, and if that's left unchecked for 10 years, I think that would have strategic implications for the United States.
And so just to underscore what you're saying every organization in the United States of significant size or importance has been compromised, on a cyber level.
That's correct.
Okay.
If you look into the computer system and you have a skill set that allows you to identify malware, and I have a team that does that, and there are others that do it, we have never examined a computer server farm or computer system of consequence that we don't find embedded malware that was placed there for the purpose of bleeding out intellectual capital. Now, in a warfare sense, that same malware is put there so that if we were mad at each other, you could turn off the lights or cause the banking system to wobble or whatever your objective might be in the context of war. But the threat to this country that I most worry about, these tools in the hands of extremists, and then left unchecked, the bleeding of intellectual capital over a long period of time.